Come to Remora TC to trade like a shark and not get eaten by one. Let's school together to protect and grow our money. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Sunday, July 6th. We had a shortened trading week last week due to the 4th of July holiday. I hope you got a chance to do some barbecuing, eat corn on the cob, and spend time with your family. We've got 10 tickers to review, so let's get started. SPY is first up. And right off the bat, you can see all these green candles, okay? And you might say to yourself, well, it's all-time highs, it's time to buy in. And if you've been following my channel for the past months, weeks, many months, you will know that I don't like to chase price, especially when momentum is against it. Now, I have been talking about how this zone right here, let's see, from June 26th up until last Thursday, you can see that this is an RSI movement that is in accordance, in parallel, and moving in the same direction as price, whereas all before it, it was divergent. Now, I circled this because from my own perspective, I'm not really sure if I should interpret this as a moment to buy back in. I really don't believe so. You know, you could argue with me and say that this zone up here is some support. Fair, you could say that. It only goes back to December, so it's not like it's a trend line which has gone back for 5 years or 10 years, like the purple one here. Okay. So due to that, I'm still sticking with my my call that the sharks have told one another to get out, to sell, take their profits. And all of this is consumer price action. It's just the retail investors buying the dip. So once again, my annotation is just going to be moved to the right. Further low prices, I still firmly believe in that because the momentum indicator hasn't changed for me. Okay, it's not convincing enough to for even myself to take a long. I'm going to wait until price breaks this line here, right here, and I'll take a short. I think it's a good opportunity from risk-reward standpoint to sell with the sharks. Okay, so when price gets below it, you know, look at the trend line here, this trend line right here. Okay, this one along here. I put this red line, red highlight underneath it. So you're not going to take a short when you're above it. You're going to take a short when you're underneath it. In fact, you're going to wait until price gets underneath and comes back up to retest from underneath. Okay, that would be the perfect entry. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Risk reward, let's see. To the 200 day, it's 5%. And down to this purple down here, could be 8% depending on where, 8 or 7% depending on where it hits it. Okay, so that is the SPY. Next up is triple Qs. Triple Qs has the same sort of behavior as the SPY. They're very similar. The difference is when I circled the RSI down here, I was anticipating that perhaps some bearish divergence would show up, and indeed it has. You can see it here. So let me zoom in, and I'm going to move this circle and annotation over a little bit there. You can see that this spot here coincides with this doji candle up here. Essentially, it's a doji candle. Doji meaning the buyers and sellers neutralize one another, and it's almost like a plus sign. Okay, no real change in price on that day. But you can see that on this day, price made a high, and then on this day, it's a higher high. So it's a higher price movement. Whereas on the RSI, it's downward. I'm going to go ahead and annotate this like this. All right. So to me, that's just further confirmation. Okay. Further confirmation that the sharks have told one another to get out. I'm going to add another shark. I might as well, because for me, in these moments, we can't be stingy on drawing the sharks. These are the moments where the sharks told one another to get out. So I'm going to put the shark. Let's click it here, move it back over. All right, so like that. Okay. So the signal came, and it's based on this candle here is the beginning of the divergence. All right, this is the next sell signal by the sharks. Okay, so there's two there. That's it for triple Qs. Yeah, my annotations are just being moved over to the right. Overall, lower prices. GDX. GDX, I talked about how price may come back and hit this trend line, this black one here, and hit it from underneath, and it did. You can see that as resistance. So really, my annotations are unchanged. I'll just kind of slide it over a little bit. And further low prices for GDX, okay? Overall, the bearishness is humongous. You can see it here, going back since April, mid-April, and this is all divergent. So yeah, this is just a retest from underneath. I mean, one could make the annotation like this, to say, oh, well, how far down will price move? In some schools of thought, they'll say, well, just draw a flag going down this way, flagpole. Let's clone it real quick, and then go like this. So it's, it could come here, right? That could be the next move is up to here. But I don't really rely on this sort of flagpole drawing for making trade entry and exits. Instead, I like the trend lines and the divergence. It works for me. Let's switch to MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy behaving as I predicted, that it would come back, hit this line as resistance, and it did. Okay. I hit it as resistance on the Thursday, and you could see the rejection, right? Price opened, in fact, up here at, let's see, $400.87, but then got sold down throughout the day. You can see it's right underneath here. Likely on Monday, they'll attempt, maybe in the early hours, to gap into this resistance again, this red shaded area, only to be sold into. Okay, that's it. There's no real change, just further low prices for MicroStrategy. Switching to Microsoft. Microsoft, similar to triple Qs, already produced the second bearish signal here. I'll also put the shark in here just to be consistent. Let's add the shark. Okay, second indication of selling. First one here, second one here. So really, it's just further low prices. I'll just slide this over to the right. Slide this over. Because overall, there's no change. The general direction remains the downside. It's just a matter of when. And some of you, if you were in it long here, good for you, right? Good. I mean, that's some profit for you. Just take your profits. Take your profits. Don't be greedy. That's what it is. Don't be greedy. Let's go over NVDA. NVDA behaving the same. You can see divergence also between price and RSI momentum. You can see the momentum change down here, like this. Okay, down to the low side, right? Momentum downward, price was still moving upward. Okay, this still poses as resistance up here. I'm just sliding it to the right, and I'm going to slide these prediction lines to the right as well. There's no real change in how I feel about NVIDIA's future price movement in the next weeks and months. still to the downside. Oh, let's put the shark in. What the heck? Be consistent. Okay, the shark. All right, there's the signal to sell. All right, let's go to Tesla. Tesla whipping up and down. I talked about how this red line here would be resistance. You can see that posed resistance on these 3 days. Fourth day, which was Tuesday the 1st, big gap down, and price stayed down here. But you can see that as they gapped it back up, or people, retail investors buying it back up, they're doing it with less volume. Now, I still feel this is going to be resistance. My hesitation is that, is it ever, it will price come up and test this line here, this black one. Just kind of go like this. Okay, is it going to come up here and hit it here? Unlikely. In fact, instead, I'm going to draw this line here. I'm going to change this one. Let's move this around. So put it here, top of this green candle, and I'm going to go like this. Okay, the reason why I'm doing that is this line I just drew, this one here, I'll make it dashed for the sake of discussion. Okay, this dashed line, you can see that price hit it here. Every time price got above it, it sold down. Got above it, sold down. Got above it, sold back down. I'll just kind of tweak it like this a little bit. There you go. Got above it, sold down. So to me, this is kind of a legit line, at least in the near term, since the beginning of June or end of April, end of May. Okay, so I will make this a little bit more prominent, make it like that. So yes, there's resistance here, but I think there's also resistance along here if they gap it up. So they may gap it up just to get everybody confused. They may gap it up, but it may hit this as resistance. Okay. All right. Still, my predictions are to the low side for Tesla also. Okay, see the arrows. Switch to Palantir. Palantir, all right, behaving as I spoke about in the past videos. You can see that price got underneath the purple with conviction here. It sat above the purple here, but here's the conviction with some volume. So this big volume candle. And now retail investors, mom and pops, young professionals not knowing what they're doing are buying back in with lower volume. You can see it down here. They may even get price to come up to this purple trend line. That would be a really nice short entry to go with the sharks. The sharks have already told each other to get out. And actually, let's see, is there, yeah, the divergence just continues. Okay, it just continues there. And it goes all the way back. I mean, Palantir has so much built up energy that I really think it's going to be a big move down, 30%, 32%, something like that. Big move down, at least to the 200, if not even further down to this 80. But for now, I'll keep it like this. We'll play it between the lines, kind of like in sports, you play it between the lines. So, yeah, they may move it back up here. I mean, that's how big of a move would this be on Monday if they go from here up to here? All right, so 4%. I mean, if you've tracked Palantir, it moves a lot, right? On this candle or any of these candles, it's a volatile stock. So 4% is pretty average for it, okay? But really, it's to the downside. It's the general direction. So I wouldn't take a long entry here, but instead, I would rather wait for it to come up here to take a short entry or add to a position short. Okay. And then let's switch to the one long trade I've been talking about in the past couple of weeks. It's been going well. This is Dick's Sporting Goods. If you're new to the channel, I don't know anything about them other than they are a retailer. What I do know is the setup long was very favorable. So I'll just kind of zoom back out here. The bullish divergence came here between March and early April, right off of this purple trend line. I put the shark signal here, informing all of you that the sharks are rallying one another to come back in and buy it up. And you can see that prices have been moving up, got rejected along this trend line, came back down, got support again on the purple. And if you were following my videos, you would have gotten an entry somewhere over here. Okay, that's when I said, hey, it's coming back. It's a beautiful entry. So I'm in this long, and I'm in and out of the trade. I'm an active trader, active investor. So I already got out here, took some profit. I think it was a 15%. So I bought at 176 down here. So like that. Yeah, so about 15% gain. I'll close my position. Price came back down for a favorable entry, long again. I think I took it on this green candle, bottom of the green candle. And now I'm back up here. It'll bounce off the top of the gap fill up here. It will. And I think what will happen is it may come down, hopefully, and I annotated it here in this green, which you can barely see. So there's a green here, which is where I think the 200-day would be. Excuse me, where's the 200-day? Oh, sorry. Let me redraw the 200-day. So the 200-day moving average is this blue line here, and it's moving almost parallel. So I need to re-annotate this. So let's just kind of draw it like that. Sorry. Draw it with this one. So it's moving like that, okay? And make it blue. So then my annotation here needs to be updated because this green line is no longer in place. So I think the support, if it doesn't find support here, right, they may gap it up. If it doesn't find support here, the next support, it's pretty far down. So I'm reassessing this myself. I may have to close my entry. If price gets up to the top of this trend line, the top of this gap fill here, then I may close my long position. Yeah, so I'll probably close the long position if it hits that as the end of that trade. And yeah, it'll come up here, hit this. So I may close it if it hits it and stays under it. Okay. The difference is if they gap it above on Monday or Tuesday, I gap it up here, then it'll be support. This line will be support up here. I'm making a lot of annotations, but I'm doing this because as an active trader, you have to predict where price action will likely be. Okay. So I'll go like that. And then if they gap it up, then that's really nice support there. Okay. All right. But ultimately, you can see my big target here. I want to get out up there. It'll zigzag up, but that's the exit way up there. All right. Now, you might say to me, hey, there's some bearishness. Yes, you're right. So I'm annotating all of this on the fly, just seeing it for the first time as you are watching this with me. So because of this, I'm going to make this red. Yeah, so we're losing momentum here for the long. So really what's going to happen is the momentum loss will be at this red line. It's going to come up in the next couple of days, really gently, maybe, bounce around here. I will close my position, and then I will wait for price to get above this gap fill line of 209, 210, and then take an entry up here. Okay, anywhere up here, that would be beautiful. All right, that's the long trade idea for you. I hope you're following along so you can learn some concepts. And if you're in the trade with me, then great, because you're going to be making some money. And that's it for the 10 tickers. Give me a comment. Let me know if you want to review a different ticker. I'm a little bit bored of these tickers all the time. I track them for myself, but I think you as viewers may want to have something different. If you want me to share some other long ideas, I have a couple other ones up my sleeve. But in general, the overall market momentum is to the downside. So there aren't that many long entry opportunities. There are many more to the short side. All right, give a like, thumbs up, share my material with your friends and family. And as always, good luck with your trades.